Hey everyone, Christina Del Rey with your forecast, your weekly forecast for November 29th, 2020. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do so, share, and like. We are having a lunar eclipse in Gemini at 8 degrees. And this week is all about the eclipse. So we're going to dive into this and see how this is going to affect your sign. But first of all, what is an eclipse? An eclipse is a turning point. It's a point of crisis, and it doesn't have to mean that it's bad. It's just a crisis that pushes you in a certain direction. These things aren't good or bad. They just change things, because we as humans, we tend to stay stuck in a place unless we are pushed, and it often takes a crisis for us to be pushed into the right direction. Eclipses are fated. They bring endings and new beginnings. So all eclipses are about endings, new beginnings. So particularly with this eclipse, you're going to see an ending first and then a new beginning. And that will take place in a certain part of the chart for everybody. But lunar eclipses tend to be more emotional. So you might have a crisis point that makes you very emotional, that pushes you to take an action of some kind. Whenever there's a full moon lunar eclipse as well, secrets tend to come out. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to come out the day that the eclipse happens, but they have like a 6-month period of time where you can see this happening. This can also be something coming to fruition. If you've been working on something, you might see the rewards of it as well. So like eclipses can go in a million different ways. They have that kind of energy, that unpredictable energy. So it could be a fruition of something where, wow, this comes to a culmination. This is great. I've been working on this. Or it could end something and push you right in a new direction. Try to think back to where you were 19 years ago. Think about what you were doing, what you committed to, and it's likely 19, 20 years ago, and it's likely that the same themes will come, and it'll likely be connected to that. But what have you built for the last 20 years? For those of you who study tarot, you know that the moon symbolizes like the hidden information. So in a lunar eclipse, when the moon can't reflect the sun, it goes dark. And then, for a minute or so, and then, then it's able to shine the light again. Well, that moon represents what's hidden, what lies beneath. And when the light comes back on, that's kind of when you see the truth. Okay, so let's see what this means for each of your signs. Hello, Aries. So Aries, what's going on? Well, you have an eclipse in your 3rd house. So eclipses, as we know, are game changers, right? For you, there's a culmination or ending, or maybe something coming to fruition in the area of neighbors, siblings, cousins, travel. Or this could be if you are in some type of vocational program, you're learning any kind of new skills. Maybe you're taking a class via the internet and learning skills there. There's some kind of culmination here happening. There's some kind of ending, but it could bring with it a reward of some kind. But this is happening, this is a communication probably that comes to you, and it might be a surprise, might be a realization. This could have to do with like, maybe a neighbor gives you news about something, or maybe they're just like moving away or something. Or maybe you're taking a trip, like, you're going to go see somebody and you're making plans to do that, but something's going on in that area. Also too, like that is, that's the area of the internet too. So, it could be like, it could be you going on the internet, finding, maybe a romantic partner. Could happen. So the ruler, Mercury, of this eclipse is in your 8th house. So your 8th house has to do with deep psychological traumas, It has to do with the money that you share with other people or that you get from other people. So it could be government money, it could be child support, it could be like investments. But Mercury's trying to bring you something, an opportunity here. So this opportunity has to do with your 10th house. So you could hear something that has to do with your career. You know, maybe you have an opportunity to make some money in your career and invest it. Or maybe you have some traumas that you're working through, and you know, people are seeing you work through them and they're recognizing that. If there are any opportunities that have to do with shared money or shared resources, or your partner's money, partner's resources, it is likely going to pay off in the long run. So, you know, pay attention to that. Pay attention to anything that comes up with that. And then at the end of the week, the very end, Saturday, December 5th, we have Venus trining Neptune, and this is happening in a part of the sky, same part with the monies. So, you know, I'm kind of wondering, like, there's a lot of active energy in this area of the chart for money. So maybe you will be gifted money. It's possible. Neptune is in your 12th house, so it might be from, you know, it could be from a source that you didn't know. You know, it could be a surprise. Neptune in your 12th house has to do with spirituality, behind the scenes. It has to do with sick people too. And I hate to be like, oh, somebody died and gave you money, but I mean, that's always a possibility too. Hopefully they were very old and, you know, there's nothing horrible. But there's some kind of nice energy here, or maybe like, you know, through a relationship, you are maybe finally being inspired spiritually again and hopeful. And maybe you had lost, you know, maybe you had lost your way spiritually, or were kind of confused in that area, and you're kind of getting that hopeful energy back. But whatever this is, it does look very positive for you. Okay, Aries, have a great week.